computer. Okay, so welcome back to week 2. There's this saying: if you feel like it's hard to lead an army if you feel like you look silly on a horse. So one of the reason I asked you to dance is because I want you to not care about what people think about you. That's all. If you care what people think about you, then it's going to be hard to build a business of any kind because you got to put yourself out there, no matter what it is. Okay, real estate business, cleaning business, whatever it is, you got to not care what people think. So that was a little test. Congratulations, Leanne, for jumping in there early. Let's kick it off with how the homework task went. Anyone die? Did we lose anyone? Haven't lost anyone yet? Nah, no one dead. Fantastic. So, a couple takeaways. Who would like to share one thing they took? Well, the homework firstly was to do what? Can someone tell me? Just unmute and fire away. We'll pop in the chat. What was the homework?
Okay.
Yep.
The homework was to buy a bottle of champagne to make sure you either were on the recording or watched the recording.
Okay.
To fill out your Crystal Executive map.
Yes.
To say what your 3 obstacles were.
Yes.
And to ask the question, one of the 2 questions to a minimum of 20 people.
Wonderful. Excellent. So which one did you struggle with the most, do you think?
Well, I didn't buy champagne, but that's okay.
That's an easy one. Yeah. Did anyone
Um,
struggle with that?
no, I saw, no. It probably was asking the question if I had to pick one of them.
Yeah, sure.
But I found it a lot easier after the call for sure, and I had some good success with it. So
wonderful, excellent, fantastic. Who shares Jackie's struggles in that part of it? That was supposed to be challenging. So what did you learn? Let's go a couple takeaways. What did you learn from the exercise? If someone would like to, did everyone have a breakthrough from the exercise? Anyone? Camilla? What was
people are willing to tell you lied?
Yeah, I can tell you. Look at that. Ask a question, you get a good answer. Ask a good question, get a good answer.
I'll jump in, Lodi, if you want.
Yeah.
What I learned was that 20 people is a lot of people to ask that question to in your normal day. Because I think I asked the questions anyway. So to go out and actually do it intentionally was very difficult. Nice. And then I tried to ask people that were really difficult to stretch my abilities and
dash yourself up a bit. That's good.
Yeah, and there was one person in particular who I didn't succeed, but my end result was I was going to send him a link anyway in case he changed his mind.
Okay, so you start to sell. So now you learn how to sell to people who don't want it. But I know what you mean. Like I think a red personality type wants a result out of this, and they want some sort of success. But that's not the objective. The objective is to do what? This exercise is to do what?
Talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, give you the equip you to talk to them. Connection for sure. Yep, improve that. What else?
Get comfortable with no.
Yeah, get comfortable with like what Andrew said in the chat. Build the muscle. Like, don't think for a second you can go out there and just canvas everyone with this question and get it wrong. It's not the point. You practice for the big match, and so if it just rolls off your tongue quickly, then you're not going to worry about asking someone that question when you're in conversation. Did anyone do a whoop exercise with someone once they answered that question?
Lloydie, can I share a story, related, unrelated?
Give me a 10-second story. Go.
Okay. Just to the power of the question formulation, at school, I work in the behavior space, and I've completely restructured their general plan for kids who get withdrawn from class using that exact question formula with a whoop to then present a plan to teachers. So it works outside of this business as well.
There you go. So absolutely, it would work anywhere because it's just the nature of connection and language. So that's a really good example there, man. Awesome. Okay, that's great. That gives you a lot of belief that it works, right? So there you go. Some examples there of in the workplace. Anyone completely struggle with it before I move on?
I didn't struggle with it, but may I share, because I do have a question.
Okay.
So I had a lady, I did the full whoop with her, which was great. Yep. Her biggest her breakthrough would be to conceive.
Uh-huh.
She was just she just had a DNC, or she was going to a DNC because she had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
She was kind enough to still speak to me on the phone, which was
Oh.
great.
Okay.
And then that kind of threw me for a loop, because I was like, how is this going to get her pregnant? But then she was talking about weight. She said something about her doctor was saying if she got to a certain weight, then she could do IV. And I kind of just stuck to the weight, and I said, oh, something about the weight. You said, are the doctors saying that you would have a better chance of conceiving if you had lost a little bit of weight or something like that? And she said, yes, it would just make it cheaper if I could lose the weight. And
Yeah.
I just went with that, and I said, well, if I had a plan that you could lose some of that weight within the next 30 days, would that be something you'd want to, would
Okay,
you
so
want to
you-
know about?
They followed it.
And she said yes.
Okay.
And so she wants me to send her some information, but I don't really know what to send her.
Well, that's okay. We're going to cover that in the training. So, but well done. You did it. How good was
Yeah.
that? Okay. Could you think you could do it again?
Oh, definitely.
And again?
Yes,
And again? And again? And again? And again? And again for the next 10 years?
absolutely.
Great. You can master network marketing. It's nothing new. This is the only thing you have to get good at. And then next part's actually the easiest part, to be honest. It's just doing the next piece of presentation, and then follow up is pretty simple. So well done. Great example. Fantastic. Okay. Well done. We're through the first part. Excellent. Okay. So we have some awesome stuff to cover today, and we've got an extra trainer on here, and we've got some wonderful things to move through with you. So we'll get to that. So let me just share the screen if I can. Okay, week 2. That looks like us. Okay. So that was the homework tasks. Okay. The obstacles were interesting to watch or see in the group. Yeah, it was fascinating to actually see. Who felt like, just before I move on, who felt like the obstacle was them? Yep. The fear. Put your hand up if it was fear. Okay. Fear of what? Pop in the chat. Do you know if you put your hand up in real life on Zoom, it puts the virtual hand up? That's interesting. It must be new. Failure, rejection, failure. Okay. Great. Success, success. That's interesting. Doing something wrong. Okay. The only way to get sacked or fired in this business is to do nothing. So you can make mistakes and make $1 million. It's pretty exciting. Failure, judgment, unknown. Excellent. Okay. Some people a bit of success because they didn't know what to do next, what to ask next. Okay, we'll cover that. Great, excellent. All right, so if we could overcome some of that over the next week or two, would that help? Yep. Excellent, fantastic. I just made an offer to you. Thank you so much. That's how simple it can be out there to get people to do what you wish them to do and influence them. We're going to cover that today. So I'm going to introduce the trainer to do this first part. And of course, you know her. She was kicking ass last week. We want to welcome back Jen Schultz.
Hey, everyone. How you going? Sorry, that was my kids in the background. Just got home from the beach. You guys were awesome with the homework and how you showed up during the week in the group. Thank you so much. Thanks, Lloyd, for a great intro. I actually wanted to keep dancing at the start, which is rare for me because I've got about 1% of yellow in me. Unless I have the bottle of champagne, then it increases somewhat. So just real quick before we get on with some training for today, with the obstacles, remember the obstacles are everything. And so the obstacles, now that you've got clear on 3 obstacles, the next part is to figure out like why are they the obstacles? Because there's no point just sitting them there, right? Going, yeah, I've got obstacles. Like they're our signposts. There are what do we need to figure out? What do we need to go through? So if you procrastinate, why do you procrastinate? If you're always going, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so overwhelmed, you can't operate at an optimal level in that state. If you're overwhelmed all the time, your brain, your body's releasing cortisol, and cortisol makes you 50% dumber. Like you don't want to be in that all the time. It's okay to be overwhelmed and confused sometimes and then figure it out, right? if you're, whatever your obstacle was, and there was lots of different ones, the next step is to dig a level deeper. And remember, if you want to have a big business, your job, your main job is going to be to find your gold, find your key people in your team and help them overcome their obstacles. And that A to B question, that was the homework to go and practice. That's the whole business. If we can't find out someone's A and someone's B, that's what we do. That's it. It all starts there and finishes there. And some people are really struggling with this business just because they're not finding that out. They're saying, you should buy these products, they're awesome. And hoping someone's going to hand over their credit card and going, oh, no one wants to buy it. But if we find out their A and we find out their B, it leads to all sorts of goodness. And so we're going to have a team of customers who we need to know their A and their B. Because what happens if they use the products and they don't move from their A to their B? There's no way they're going to buy again next month, right? And there's no way they're going to tell them. There's no way they're going to become a raving fan. And most people don't know their own goals. So if people are starting on the products and they're not clear on their A and their B, how are they ever going to become a happy customer? So that question is just, it should just be in every conversation. Every time. And even we change, right? So then we've got two types of customer in this business. We've got our health customers and we've got our wealth customers. So our wealth customers, their goals change over time. So Andrew's goal, for example, when Andrew got started, is very different from what his goal is now. So I have to re-ask that question. If I want to support Andrew, I've got to know what his goal is now, right? He doesn't want to lose 5 kilos, lose his little pre-dad belly that he had back then, so he could look good in his suit on his wedding day. That's not his thing now. He's got different goals. So we've got to always be in that conversation. And then we've always got to be in the conversation of, what are your obstacles? What's like, why aren't you there yet? Because if we knew how to get to our B, we would be there. So there's obviously obstacles in the way. And so let's find out, what are the obstacles? What are really the obstacles? Because when we first think about what the obstacles are, they're not really the obstacles. They're the behavior that is the symptom of the real obstacle. We've got to, this is all we do, is help people figure this stuff out. And we have this couple of great products that really help them speed up getting from A to B, which is our health products, or our compensation plan, which is our wealth products. That's it in a box. So if we, Lloyd, do you mind, or Leash, do you mind popping up the slides? So I have one picture that is our business in a box. And I think this might really help some people. I know it really helped me just to see a one-pager that's like, I see what this business is. Because sometimes I think we're learning from all these different sources and we don't quite know where to fit the pieces. And I know when I went to uni, I had a curriculum. It was like, first year, you do these subjects, second year, you do these subjects, third year, and you kind of, it helps our brain to learn and to integrate the learning when we know where it fits. And same as what we're doing. If we know what we're doing and why we're doing it, and we know where it fits into the process, we can be more effective at it. So this is our whole business, like a business in a box, all on one page. And sometimes when we get really worried about what people are going to think, it's because we're attaching too much to whether they say yes or no. We're attaching too much meaning to whether they say yes or no. And the truth is, they just got to go through the process. They just got to go through the funnel. And people say, well, I'm just looking for a business builder. You know, I want to attract more business builders. But they don't just land, like they don't just, rarely do they just land and go, right, I'm a business builder, off I go. That just doesn't happen, right? They go through this whole process before they come out right down to see the second upside down pyramid. See it there, right down the bottom, before we find a business builder. So let's talk through this communication framework. So if we think about, let's just think about some numbers, and I'm gonna ask you to check your own numbers, because the numbers don't lie and the numbers are a really good indicator. So first thing I do when someone comes and says, Jen, I'm stuck, can you help me with my business? I it's not going anywhere, I don't know what to do. I say, well, first thing, let's look at your numbers. I want you guys to write this down, because this is going to be, you need to get really clear on your numbers so you can self-diagnose your own business, but also when you're coaching someone in your team, so you can help diagnose their business and see where where they're getting stuck. So how many customers have you enrolled in the last 12 months? And some of you will know that straight away. Some of you won't have a clue. So you're going to have to go after this call or tomorrow and count in your back office. Then the second number is, how many consultants have you created in the last 12 months? Okay, so in this business, there's really only 2 skills that matter: enrolling new customers and helping customers enroll customers, tapping into their warm network, and then tapping into their warm network and tapping into their warm network. So ideally, we want to go from enrolling customers and keep churning that to creating some consultants and keep churning that. And then some of those consultants, we want to go to manager, to director, to executive. So imagine that we get the building where we're up the top, because we own the building, we've got 10 floors and we've got an executive head of floor on each level of 10 levels. So the big goal, we talk about run to executive, get 10 consultants. No, the big goal is really 10 executives. Then we never fall out of exec, right? Because they're getting paid too much. They're not going to quit. People, when they get paid, they don't quit. Well, only the silly ones do. And got to be honest, there are a few silly ones out there. But most people who are smart, when they're getting paid, they don't quit. Okay, so let's look at this framework. And we'll use the same numbers. So sometimes we get so attached to whether someone says yes or no, because we're not putting enough people in the top of the funnel. And everything's hinging on, oh my gosh, please, and they say no. But what happens if we talk to enough people, if we connect up the top with enough people, when they've got a problem, they pop through the first layer. When they've got if they don't have a problem, they're never going to buy anything. There has to be a problem for someone to make a purchase. And this is where it's really important, and you'll find this business so much easier if you swap your intention out. And instead of trying to sell products, you think about solving problems. It changes everything. So every morning you wake up, what problems can I solve today? What problems can I solve today? What obstacles can I overcome? Who can I help solve their problem? Who can I help overcome their obstacles? Changes your intention, it changes your energy, it changes your language, it changes everything. And it changes their experience, the whole lot. So let's say we connect, we've got 100 connections up the top. Some of them are going to fall through with a problem. And then we're going to go through the process, and soon Andrew's going to go through a really cool little framework that he has that helps you identify where in the problem process they are. How ready are they for change? Because some people have a problem and they don't realize they have a problem, right? So I'm pretty sure we've all seen the overweight person. It's like, oh, dude, like your knees must be really suffering. You need to lose about 30 kilos. But he doesn't think he's got a problem. He's like, oh, hangs out with all his mates who are probably 20 kilos heavier. And they love drinking beer every weekend, and there's no problem. Life's good. At some point, he may realize that he has a problem. But if he doesn't realize he has a problem, it's not a problem. And then we get further along the point where we realize we have a problem. And then sometimes we get to the point where we become aware of the solution. So we can have a problem and have no way, we can have a problem and not know we have a problem. We can have a problem and not know we have a problem, but not know what the solution is. That's a lot of people, right? They're confused. They're like, I know I need to lose weight, but oh my gosh, like they say eat butter, they say eat margarine, they say don't eat meat, they say do eat meat. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to eat hot chips. Or sometimes we come across people like who might message us and say, are you still doing that Isagenix thing? Can you send me a link? I want to buy some products. So they know they have a problem and they're already solution aware. Okay, then once we get into the WHOOP, that's where we find out, do they have a problem? What's their A? What's their B? And then we go into the WHOOP framework, which, by the way, Liam said works in school. It was originally developed and tested in schools and in hospital settings. So it is a framework. Like if you want to stop fighting with your husband, use WHOOP. If you want your kids to behave better, use WHOOP. Like you can use it on any problem, at any wish at all. There's nothing it doesn't work for. And it's the most scientifically proven. And if you would love reading, there's a book called The Power of Positive Thinking. And it's all about WHOOP. So you can go and have a read of that. I think it's called The Power of Positive Thinking. I might have to check that. So then we move through WHOOP. Remember, the P is plan. So we make the offer. So at each of these, we're going to have a language system, right? And so people say so often, and a lot of you are like, I don't know what to say. Well, guess what? You're going to create your own language system that feels good for you and you think would land well for someone. So if someone teaches you to say something and you're like, feels cringy for me, awesome. Don't say it. But you don't get to do nothing because we're in business, right? We get to create what we think would be better. Okay, moving through. So we make the offer, and again, a lot of people that I work with who struggle with sales get really caught up on, I don't know, this whole idea of making the close. So if that kind of makes you weird out, just change it and think about it as making an offer instead of making a close. Making an offer just helps someone solve a problem. It feels really good, right? And so then they become a customer. And then there's a language system that sits there between them being a customer and getting them paid. And we work out what that language system is. And so my language system, and I'm sure many people have been around for a while, your language system changes. I think about what I used to say 10 years ago. It's like, I wouldn't say that now because I've had lots of practice and I've learned lots of things, and so will you. And so sometimes we're so focused on, I need to know the exact recipe of the exact words of exactly what to say. And we're paralyzed, right? Until we find that out. And then we hear Lloyd's language and Alicia's language and Andrew's language and Jen's language and Jackie's language and Leanne's language. It's like, oh my gosh, now I don't know which language to use because I think I'm going to combine them. And like Lloyd's and Jen's wasn't even the same. It was like nearly total opposite. And we go into even more paralysis. But what you need to know is you have to find your language that you think will land well for the person you're talking to. And that's probably going to change depending on who you're talking to. But if you're following a framework like WHOOP, at least you've got some sort of level of, I think I know where I'm going with this conversation, and you're in charge of the conversation. And the person who's asking the questions, remember, is the person with the most influence. Okay, so that's the communication framework. And then we roll over into the outcome framework. So as people go through that communication funnel, some are going to never start Isagenix. Some are going to get stuck in their problem and never want to change. Andrew's going to talk about that. Some progress through to become customers, and some become customers who refer other customers. Now, to help you detach from the outcome, I'm pretty sure you've all heard of the Pareto principle, right? The 80-20 rule. We can't escape it. We can try our little heart out to escape the Pareto principle, but the Pareto principle is always in operation. So for every 100 conversations you have, a certain amount will fall through into this problem conversation. So some of you would have noticed when you asked those 20 questions, you didn't even get into the next part of the conversation because you got flicked off. Right? That's normal. People are busy. People don't have time to stop. People think where people are suspicious, people are in defense mode. It's nothing to do with you, right? It's to do with them. It's where they're at. It's the timing. But when we get into the conversation of, do you have a problem? 80% of people who say yes to Isagenix will be customers. So out of every 100 who say yes and sign up and order their products, 80% will be customers. 15 will fall through and refer a few people, and they'll say, yeah, I want some money. Yeah, I want some money. And they're kind of like wannabe business builders or sharers. And then 5%, 5 out of the 100 will fall through into the business builder category, where they'll go, yeah, I really want to, I really see this as amazing. I really see we can change the health of the world with these products. I really see that this could be another income stream for me. I really see that I can help other people create financial freedom with this business model. And they fall down there. And then, so that's kind of, see how that's the 80-20 rule, 80% customers, which is what we want. We want just these happy recurring customers. 15% will kind of share, and we'll get frustrated with them. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, why can't they stay consultant? They just drop off all the time. It's like, it's normal. And as long as you know that they've been through your communication framework and they have all the information that they need, that's all you can do. You can't change their behavior, but you can't expect them to behave in a way if they don't have the information they need, right? So your communication framework is all about giving them the information that they need. And then the business builders, let's apply 5%, 5 out of 100. So if you haven't enrolled 100 customers, it's going to be really hard to find 5 business builders. It's just how it is. And then let's apply the Pareto principle to the business builder number, those 5. So really you end up with, let's say, 4 who kind of give it a go, and most people quit everything they do. Like, and then 1%. So 1 out of every 100 will be your gold. And all you can do is sift and sort and sift and sort and sift and sort. And so what you'll find once you know this framework is that your numbers are not matching up somewhere. So if you're not putting in enough new customers, you're never going to find the business builders. So that means, what do you need to focus on? Learning how to find your customers. If you're enrolling a ton of customers, but never converting to consultants, no one's dropping into the sharer or business builder category, then maybe you're not having a conversation and telling them how they can earn. Maybe you've got weird stuff around money and you're like, oh, I just don't want to talk about the money. Is there anyone? Just pop a 3 in the chat if you feel a bit weird talking about the money. You haven't found a way yet that you feel really comfortable telling people about the money. Just pop it. Yeah. There are lots of people. So we got to get past that, right? We've got to think that's an obstacle. It's just an obstacle, and we can learn our way through it. And we can find the language that we feel good about, that we think would land well with them, so that we're more likely to talk about the money. Because sometimes if we try and adopt someone else's language that feels really weird to us, we're just going to hit the resistance every time, and we're just not going to want to do it. Okay. Then the events, just so you know, the events up and down the side is just, we can use events to help drive people through this framework, to help steer them through the framework, to help them move from one level to another. Okay, so Andrew, can you take us through your awesome, that unreal.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. So it's great to be here. This is so cool to be on it and watch, watch 2 people particularly who have just been amazing, incredible growth leaders. Lloyd did sort of pop up in the chat. The business builders are kind of always the last people you expect, and it's just the growth and the development of Lloyd and Alicia. So it's such an honor to be here. So I really hope you guys are aware of just the amazing training you're going to get, and you're all here, you're showing up, which is awesome. But I popped this up in the group the other day because Cecilia had popped up a question just earlier that morning that she'd reached out to someone, and and asked a question, and the lady, I think it was a lady, was quite abrupt in her answer that no, there's absolutely nothing I want to change. And she was sort of, could I have done anything differently? And a couple of us sort of responded, and it just prompted me to share this. So if you didn't see it, we'll run through it quickly here again, but I just want to go into some of the languaging as well. So this is something that I learned, I think it was in my physio days. I can't actually remember where I've learned, but it's something I've just held on to for many years because it really helps me. And for a lot of us, maybe for some of the new people, you haven't ever had a UIA experience, but that first UIA experience where you learn like the color codes, and you've got that person that's got so much potential and then they keep dropping off, and it's like, why is this person, why can't they stay focused? And then you learn about the color codes and the personalities, and it's like, oh, they're a yellow. Okay. All right, I understand now. And once we understand better, we can adjust our language and, adjust our expectations and adjust their role in the greater development of the team and all that kind of stuff. So this is I think there were Swedish psychologists that came up with this, but it's a 4-room of change theory, that we live in these 4 rooms in this house. And the 4 rooms are contentment, denial, confusion, and renewal. So now, the key is obviously that we can move around the rooms in the house, and I'll share a bit of my story as well. But there are going to be people you talk to, a very small percentage, but there are going to be people who are content. Now, if someone, and I'm sure like most of us, we get unsolicited DMs every single day about, hey, how you should try this product and you should be this thing and do this, like it's amazing. There is nothing you could offer me, health, wealth, relationships, that I need, that I want, and yes, I ate a bit too much at Christmas. Yes, there are a couple of kilos, but that's my fault. That's not the Isagenix product's fault. The tools are all in the cupboard. I just need to, just do them, right? Like, and we all just like, it's a long-term sustainable system, but I know what to do with my health. I know what to do with our wealth, and our relationship is fantastic. So could tiny small things improve? Yes, but there are a very small percentage of people who are genuinely content. And that's why we always want to open with the question of, is there anything about your health that you would like to change? Your energy, your sleep, your weight, anything like that? And a small percentage of people say, no, there's nothing to, and it's like, great, cool. Now, these people are generally, if they are the small percentage who are content, they're going to be great cheerleaders for you, because to be content in life, you've probably got your shit together already. So you're going to say, look, it's not for me, but I will cheer you on. I will support you. Like I don't need to change anything, but good on you for being entrepreneurial. You're not going to get negative or nasty no's out of these people. The deniers are the tough ones, right? So the next room are the deniers. And I admit, like, I was in denial for many years, or, periods there when Jen and Jono first started chatting to me and reaching out to me. For those who don't know, Jen and I worked together. And so Jen's mum was also worked for me as a receptionist. Jen's husband was my personal trainer. Jen's brother was rented a house off me. So I was hearing about this Isagenix thing from like 17 different people every single day.
I feel
right?
what she's saying.
And I would sit there every day and say, no, I don't need shakes and stuff because I'm healthy. But I was lying. And I had those few extra kilos, and I was doing all the things you're meant to do. You're training hard, you're getting up in the morning, you're going to CrossFit, you're eating mostly good food and all that kind of stuff, but those last few kilos wouldn't go. So Jen was telling me about this thing, but I was lying to her and lying to myself. These people will frustrate you. And so this is where we want to have that qualifying question. When they sit there and they're complaining about their health, or they're complaining about their energy, or they're complaining about their income or lack of income, and you want to say, is that something you're looking to change? Or is that something you actually want to fix? Or are you just venting? Like, are you just venting, or you're actually looking for a solution to this problem? Or out of 10, how important is it that you fix this thing, that you change this thing? And if they say, oh, like 2 out of 10, okay, well, that's great. I've got something that may be able to help, but I really like to work with people who are sort of really committed, the 9s and 10s and stuff like that, actually pre-qualify them out of the process, that you don't deserve this thing. If you're only going to give it 2 out of 10 effort, you don't deserve this incredible system and this community and this culture. But the deniers, we want to actually put it back on them. So yeah, I'd like to lose some weight, but nothing ever works for me. Yeah, I'd like to have more money, but those things don't work. And so are you actually serious about changing? Or are you just venting to me with all these excuses? Because I'll listen, but to be honest, I'll tune out and I'll think about other stuff while you just talk. But, you know, whatever languaging you want to use, you actually want to put it back onto them of, if you just want to keep complaining, I'm not here. I'm not the person that's going to just listen to what you said. So the deniers, again, I was a denier, and denier, what changed, and something is going to happen. What changed is that Angie and I were getting married, and suddenly it went from, well, it's okay to have extra 5 kilo because all your mates do, and you have your boys' weekends and you drink beer at the footy with the boys, like that's okay, to hang on, the A and the B have suddenly moved. And the further the distance between where I was and where I wanted to be, the easier it is to sell someone. You know, so there wasn't really this gap between the A and the B, because whatever, it's okay, it's only a few extra kilo, to hang on, I'm getting married, I've got to get my shit together for the wedding day. And that's when people will move into confusion. And confusion is when we're sitting there saying, well, why can't I lose those last 5 kilo? I eat all the right foods, I get up and train every morning. Angie and I make everything from scratch. Angie especially, would make all my meals. I never ate takeaway at work, all that kind of stuff. Why am I not losing this weight? And when we're confused, we go looking for answers. And so this is where our consistency is so important, because you're going to have people who have been watching you and they've probably been in denial, or possibly they're being content. And then, a lot of stuff happened about 4 years ago, this time 4 years ago, where people were content and now suddenly they weren't content. Life changed, and they're looking around at, well, hey, these people seem to know what they're doing. Why are they getting results and I'm not? So this is where our consistency with our social media, consistency with the habits, and consistency of showing up, consistency of mastering the fundamentals. Unfortunately, we see so many people, they get great results straight away. All these people who are ready to buy come to them straight away, and then they stop using the products and their health declines. And they say, oh, no one wants to enroll anymore. It's like, yeah, because you've got this huge section of people in confusion. There's a huge number of people confused out there in the world, but they don't see you as that person to go to, because they're watching reels. They're watching people's posting. They're looking for people in their life who seem to know what to do. You want to be that person that when they hit renewal, say, you know what, I'm ready to make a change. And you're going to be the person. And that was me when I woke up one morning and said, you know what, something in my brain snapped, and F this. Jen, I need to talk to you about that stuff. And she said, right, I will come over for dinner. I'll answer any question you have and we can see if it's for you. And again, she just, we didn't know what we were doing back then, but she just sat down and overcame my objections, got rid of found out the obstacles, the outcome that I wanted. And we put together a plan. We went through that process. What do you want? I want to look good on the wedding day. The obstacle, I can't lose this 5 kilo. It's not going away. And we went through that process. So I went through these 4 rooms, and it happened again financially as well. I won't go into that, but it's all just about those qualifying questions, A, to find out if they're content or in denial. And then the people in confusion, these are the people who are watching, and they will buy from you. They just need that little bit more information, because there's is it keto? Is it vegan? Is it calories? Is it, meal prep things? Is it fasting? Is it yoga? Is it weights? There's so information overload, and they're just looking for someone who can say, here's what I'm doing. Follow me. I'm going to give you value. I'm going to support you, and I'm going to help you. And then they will come to you ready to buy. So yeah, just jumping in with that. I hope that helps. And then I'm going to hand you over to Alicia.
Who's
All
going
right.
to hand over to Lloyd?
Alrighty. So, hey, thanks, Andrew, for that. It's really cool. It's really nice to know where people are at, right? Because then you don't have conversations with the wrong people. It would be a waste of time to have a conversation with someone who's in denial. So think about where people are at with the problem. And of course, we're going to elaborate further on what Jen spoke about with numbers in a moment. So what we want to do is we just love to do a quick breakout. We can meet someone else and just solidify this learning. So would love to just break out into small groups. When you go into your group, the person with the shortest hair goes first. And all you're going to do is just take 15 to 30 seconds and just share with them the one underlying thing that you just learned from Jen and Andrew in that session. Okay, just share the number one learning and what you're going to implement based on that training. We'll come back to this room. Okay, so I'll just put you guys into a breakout. 1 second. Now, if you are sitting around not in a breakout, don't freak out. If you're sitting by yourself, don't freak out. I will place you. Okay, don't worry. All will be well. No one's died from this either. Anchors. So you're in a room, you just got to click the button to move into a room. It would say breakout room. Jessica, are you there? Francis, are you there? Rachel. Angus, you okay? Angus, are you there? Okay, that's all good. No worries, Rachel's all good. Sleeping baby. Pop in the chat though, Rach. What did you get from that session? Awesome, 2 a.m. Angus, you okay to move into a breakout room? Do you see the button? You're not okay? You want to unmute and I just joined. You just joined what?
Do you talk to me?
Angus, no. Are you okay to move into a breakout room?
Anki. Is that Annika
Anki.
Simpson?
Sorry, Anki.
Anki. Yeah, I'm from Sweden.
Okay.
I'm working at my work, so I try to listen to you, but I can't be with you, so to
That's
say,
okay.
because I'm on my work.
Okay, that's fine.
I didn't know when it's coming in someone in my room, so
okay. All right. Well,
that's why I can't be there.
okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But I want to listen to you.
No, it's okay. I understand. You can just listen. All good.
Yeah,
No
good.
problem.
Thank you.
I just joined the call. Awesome. So maybe in the chat, pop in the chat with us in this room. We can do a breakout in here within the chat. What was the one thing that you learned from Jen and Andrew's part there? Share with me in the chat or feel free to just talk. Any takeaways in the chat?
Do you talking to me now too?
Yeah, just yourself and Rachel. If you have a takeaway you want to share with
Okay, I didn't. I come in this meeting not so long, so I haven't been here so long. So
Did you miss that whole part?
Yeah, I missed the whole part in the beginning. Yes.
Okay. Well, perhaps.
But I'm going to listen to it after.
Okay.
So I want to be with you now.
Yeah, that's cool. No worries. Just
as much as I can.
Watch the recording and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, I haven't listened to the one last week.
Okay, cool. All right.
And I have tried to do the things.
Okay, no worries. If you missed Jen and Andrew's piece, just watch the recording and then share a takeaway in the Facebook group.
Yeah, now before this. Today, I missed
Yeah,
it.
just watch the replay. We'll put it in the group today. All good.
Good. Thank you.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, probably enough time, huh? Let's bring him back. Hey, Emma Morris.
How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah, I'm great. Good to see you.
Yeah.
You look 10 years younger with your backwards cap, Lloydie.
Learning up from the best. Gotta have a cap. It's critical. Hey, Fiona. How are you?
Hey, Lloyd, great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
That's good. We're all coming back in, are we?
Yeah, you guys are the overachievers. So
Of course.
well done.
Okay.
All the red personality
Thanks.
types in one. All
That's
right,
good.
everyone's coming back. Wonderful. Okay, just a couple of quick shout outs. What did you guys discuss? What came up in the groups? What was the one underlying lesson?
What is andere gelopen voor?
Okay, what else? Wonderful. Something else?
Lloydie, I liked that it was, I wasn't trying to close, that I was just trying to make him an offer.
Nice. Great. Excellent. Yeah, you offer them and they close themselves if they say yes to the offer. They're pre-closed, as they say. Okay, two more.
Yep, Lloyd, I found that I got really comfortable with having that Whoop conversation because obviously we've been copy paste from your and Alicia's Eat for Free, which is fabulous. But I found this week I really got a great understanding of how to have that conversation organically.
Yeah.
And it was more free flowing. I had some really good conversations.
Great. So there's principle behind it, right? So it's not about just the words, it's about the intention, like what Jen said on the first call. That's really good. Great. Yeah, there's a science to this. There's a science of marketing and selling that you are learning now. And that's the difference between someone who masters this and doesn't, is that you've got to understand the science. And we didn't pluck the words out of the air. So there you go. Great. One more. Someone who doesn't speak much, who's a bit scared. This is your chance to grow. Just come off here and embarrass yourself. It's great. It's a good spot for that. Do a dance if you want. Come on, someone who's shy. Who is it? Who hates public speaking? Come on.
Oh, that would be me, Lloyd.
All right, Tamara, you're up. And then Naomi, what do you got?
I actually found it more, I was just telling the girls, I actually found it more hard to think of it as homework. I actually kind of thought when I just talk normally and then I go, oh, now it's homework. What do I do?
Okay. Sure. So, did it help you to formulate that this is a formula and you can get clear on your formula because you're thinking about it differently?
Yes, I'm starting to actually try to put a process of it together.
Yeah.
I think because I'm still quite new at it,
Cool.
it's kind of going.
Right. If you don't have a formula to follow, then how are you going to teach it to someone else, right? You can't just say, hey, be me. I'm Tamara. Just do what I do. That's not going to work, is it? So well done. That's good. Getting clarity on a process. What about you, Naomi?
Yeah, so I find I end up going through the process and getting ghosted a lot. And I know that obviously what I'm putting out there as an offer is something that people don't want. But by using that, breakthrough question, which is, what area would you like? Is there anything that you would like to improve with your health? At least you are then qualifying people, finding out if they actually have a problem that you can, have a solution for. So when you have those solutions, people are more likely to engage in the conversation rather than offering a solution before knowing if they even have a problem.
It's so good. That's huge. That is big. So the question, if you could have one breakthrough in your health this year, what would it be? Or one area in your health, what would it be? That's a qualifying question. That one question's used on suspects, and those that go, oh, I want to do this, that then turns into a prospect. Then you go through the whoop. If you're whooping people without understanding if they've got a problem, then you're just whooping the wrong people. That's a waste of time. And for them and you. And of course, they're not going to say yes to an offer because they don't have a problem. So the breakthrough question, then the whoop, then the offer. Boom, boom, boom. Repeat. Boom, boom, boom. Forever and ever. Amen. Okay, that's how you actually build this business. All right. Never pitch without a problem, Jen says. So good. What a one-liner. Never pitch without a problem. Okay. All right. What are we doing now? We better do some more training. So let's do this. Okay. So this is me. All righty. Okay. So on this funnel here, okay. So Jen's gone through and said, well, with the breakthrough question, you identify if someone has a bit of a problem or they have a goal, then you go through whoop to really unpack the problem, exacerbate it, put some, lemon in the wound and open them up, right? In network marketing, it's not how we close people, how we open them. So once you open them up and you give them an offer to solve the problem, the answer is likely going to probably be yes, okay? But to get to more of those conversations, we have to do what? What's before the problem and the offer and enrolling? What happens? What's the top?
Connect with them.
Connect. Yeah. So be honest with me. Who doesn't connect with people because they're a little bit afraid of like becoming salesy and like, oh, it's like, I don't want to connect with someone because I got to think about Isagenix. I got to bring it up what I'm going to say. Hands right up. I want to see. This used to happen to me. Yep. I used to sweat because I thought I had to bring up Isagenix in every single conversation. And it made networking really hard and really weird and really icky and really awkward. And I kept doing it because I was like, I just wanted it so bad. But you don't have to do that. So would it be okay if I was to show you a very simple 3-step process using the science of persuasion to turn you into a networking ninja? Pop a yes in the chat. Okay, great. Awesome. That was an offer. You're being pre-closed. I will now approve the presentation. Okay. So there's this book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by the world-leading expert of influence, Robert Cialdini. And Charlie Munger, who just passed away as Warren Buffett's business partner, he's a multi-billionaire, said it's the best book he's ever read and he wished he'd read it when he was 20. Now, you don't have to go read the book, but if you want to, go for it because leaders are readers. So if you don't read a lot of books, you're probably not going to be successful in any business. It's really important. You don't have to be a super reader, but you should be curious to learn these types of things, okay? So when I read this book, we discovered, I was like, oh, shivers. There's like weapons of influence. And I can just apply these weapons, right? And so I was like, oh, I didn't realize. And so in the book, you learn that there's these weapons of influence, okay? So there's 6 weapons of influence, all right? Now, this is about how to network with people and how to build trust and rapport and likability, right? So does anyone know what the weapons are? Pop in the chat if you know what the weapons of influence are. Yes, correct. Reciprocity. Does anyone know what reciprocity is? Just unmute and share it. Pop in the chat. Reciprocity. No one?
So it's like when you do something for other people, they feel a bit obliged to be returning the favor.
Yes, absolutely. Like, correct. So when you get someone pays you a compliment, what do you want to do straight away? Repay the compliment, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you do something for someone, what it does is it tips the scales of reciprocity into your favor. Now, you can't do this and be irritated if someone doesn't reciprocate. You can't go in it with like an agenda. It's just, it'll become fluid in your life. You just give. And there's a book out there called The Go-Giver, and The Go-Giver sells more. And it's like giving is how you sell, right? And here's why. It's because it's one of the weapons of influence. So if you can give value to people, if you can give them something of value, right? Jesse Itzler, who's married to Sarah Blakely, who's a billionaire, he writes letters to people, and that's highly valuable, right? Alicia was out today, and she was booking a venue for a pre-event for this event in Feb. And she said to the lady, "You've been so amazing. Can I please have the email of your manager so I can send them a review to you to tell you how good you did?" And this person was just like salivating over the phone of how amazing that felt. So like you can give value without it costing you any money. Do you understand? Like energy is value, giving people like compliments, and just, it doesn't have to be something of value, but if it is, that's okay too. You can give them books, you can give them ideas. Every single time that someone's birthday is on my Facebook, anyone received a birthday video from me before? or Alicia or Andrew. Okay, in my newest birthday video, it's like, hey, legend, what's up? Happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. Listen, I want to give you something of value to me. The greatest book I read this year is this book. I hope you go get it. This is what I learned from it. Go grab it. So I'm giving a book recommendation. And that's valuable. And I get people come back, thanks, Lloyd. Awesome. I'm like, no worries. Right? Meanwhile, can I ask you a quick question? Yeah, what's up? If you could have one breakthrough this year between now and your next birthday, in health or finances or love, what would it be? Am I making sense? But you give first before you take. And most people, like Jen said, are just taking. They're just selling. Just ask, and never give. So one of these weapons of influence, reciprocity, just so you know, is the most powerful of all of these. I should have crescendoed them nicely, but it just wouldn't have worked out. So reciprocity is the most powerful. Okay, so if you want to sell more, you've got to give more. We'll talk about that in a second. Alicia's got a cool exercise to give you at the end and some awesome training that help you with that. The second weapon of influence is likability. Likability. My friend Gavin says, be a professional friend maker. You don't have to be in a deep friendship. It's easier to sell to acquaintances. You just have to be a pro acquaintance maker. So it's about being likable, right? So I walked past our neighbor the other day. He's just sitting on the steps in front of his house, having a beer in a chair, listening to Nora Jones. I was like, that looks so great. I was like, you're sitting on your porch in your house, having a beer Friday afternoon. Listen, and I walked past it. Hey, is that Eva Cassidy? And he goes, nah, it's Nora Jones. I'm like, oh, I love it. Great. You should get a rocking down, have a conversation. Next minute, he's telling me his story about his dogs, how they passed away. Our dog, I'm connecting with him. We introduced, and I walked past yesterday. He's like, hey, Lloyd. I'm like, hey, Ben, what's up? It's about being likable because you're approaching someone first and just asking questions. You have to be likable. Be energetic. Be fun. Be not serious. My dad taught me once, he said, just don't be so stiff. Right? And I'm not. I was like, I'm taking that on board. I don't want to be stiff. Don't be stiff. People will love it. The third weapon of influence, and this is all going to be about how you're going to connect, is authority. And authority is really just, you have to be, look, who suffers from imposter syndrome in this business? Who's labeled themselves as someone that doesn't know enough? Right? Like, I don't know enough. Jen's amazing with the products. Andrew and Alicia, whatever, like amazing. Even Katrina, right? She's a world pro bodybuilder. Authority. But here's the thing. If you and a friend are in a field and it's in Africa and there's a lion chasing after you, do you have to outrun the lion or outrun your friend to live? You just have to outrun your friend. So really, you just got to be 10 minutes ahead of the next person to be an expert because you've walked the path and all they need is the clues of how to walk the path and outrun the lion. So authority doesn't mean you're a world-leading expert. It just means you know enough about the product. You know enough about the business. You know enough, a little bit about money. You just know enough, more than them, just a little bit more than them. And by the way, if you're in good shape physically because of the products and what you do, you're miles ahead. You've got authority. So it's not something that you're going to make up, just some authority. This is why a little bit of knowledge will help. Okay. And so I think, does anyone here struggle with talking about the money, like recruiting someone for the income opportunity? Yep, because of what they've been paid. Like, I've only been paid a few $100 in a single week. Like, how can I bring someone in? The way to get around, would you like to know how to get around that? Yep. Who's ever heard of a recruiter that recruits people into jobs? Yep. So recruiters recruit investment bankers that get paid $600,000 a year at Macquarie Bank. Those recruiters place those people into that role. Michael Page, Robert Walters, those big recruiters do that. Now, does the recruiter go, oh, listen, I was going to tell you about this role at Macquarie Bank, but because I don't make $600,000, I don't feel good about telling you about that. Sorry. It's like, what? Like, what? Why wouldn't you connect me to an opportunity? So here's the thing. You're not responsible for people's results. You are only responsible for offering them an opportunity to get the results they want. You are not responsible for their results. But you are responsible, I think, if you have an opportunity like Isagenix and you haven't given it to someone, that's a problem. Because there are people out there dying and praying in bed at night for this opportunity. And you've got to get out of your own way. So be the recruiter of the investment banker. Don't have to be the investment banker. Making sense? Every other industry is like that. Except for this. We get all weird. We're like, oh, hopefully you recruit someone way better than you. That's the whole idea. And that's okay, right? So how do you use these to connect? Okay, let me show you how, right? There's 3 more we'll cover next week of weapons of influence. But if you're implementing reciprocity, likability, and authority into your conversations, more people will lean in and say yes to your offers. Way more people. Because if you've done something for them, they're inclined to do something back for you. Okay, sending a birthday message would be one example, right? So here's the framework. In boxing, so most people in network marketing, they're going out to the marketplace and they're posting shakes on their wall and 10% off, and we've got this and that. And all they're doing is right hooking. They're coming out into a boxing fight and they're just throwing right hooks, right hooks, right hooks. Now, if you've ever done any boxing, if you just come out and throw right hooks, you're going to be exhausted in 30 seconds. You're going to be pretty well dead. And then you're going to probably miss because you're not going to be measured up. So in boxing, what do you do first? Anyone who's ever boxed? Gauge rod, just throw a jab. Just get your measurements. Just warm up. Boom, throw a jab, throw a jab. Just measure it up, right? Throw a jab, throw a jab, throw a jab. Little jab, then a jab. Then jab. Then you can right hook them, right? People going out, it's like when you go on a date, you don't like go to the restaurant and then go up to the person that sat down for your first date and pull your pants down the restaurant and say, all right, I'm ready. Anyone done that? You probably get sued. Like, that's what people are doing in network marketing. Like, here's my stuff. Here's the secret. I'm ready. I'm naked. Let's go. Like, it's gross. It's like, you know, I got this mentor. He said, Lloyd, you can't be showing dick pics like that, man. Yeah, right? Everyone's doing that. Enough. So jab, 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 right hook. This is the framework. So can someone tell me what a jab is? What's a jab?
Can start with a hello.
Certainly, yep. Hello's a good opener. Is it valuable? Could be. If you have high energy, like, hey, you're smiling, maybe. Maybe a bit of likability influence there. But what's a jab?
Compliment.
That would be a good start. That's a very baby jab. But yes. What else?
Ask them in questions.
You could, yeah, you could, but asking questions a bit of interrogation before you get to that.
Results.
Say again, Fee?
Results.
Results is another weapon of influence called social proof that we go over next week. So it is a weapon of influence, but it is a jab. We'll do it next week. That's true. But even before then, even before you get to the products, even like we're just talking about networking. Forget about Isogenics. Forget you even have Isogenics. How do you network with people and get them to fall in love with you and attracted to you?
Make friends.
Yes, and how do you do that?
Say hello.
Find
Something in common.
Okay, sure. So, all right, fine. So if you sent someone a video message for their birthday or a card or a letter, would that be of value to them?
Value.
Yeah, of course it is. Give us some examples, Rose. What do you think of as a value? One jab.
I give people tips on organization in their home.
Perfect. Hey, Jenny, great to be connected here on Facebook. I saw you do this. Listen, not sure if it's a few, but I've got a really cool guide on decluttering. Would you like a free copy? Jab. Perfect. It's like, here's value, right? Hey, Bill, I just came across this amazing podcast episode on this one thing. I noticed on your Facebook profile, you love monster trucks. I just came across this amazing monster truck video clip on YouTube. Hey, Jeremy, I just came across this amazing thing about this pastor in the US who just gave this amazing talk. I know you're quite a devout Christian. Have a listen to this. I thought of you. Like, what is it you're going to give people before you can actually take from them? The secret to networking is to give people things and get them to fall in love with you because of your giving. Right? This is the truth. So, perfect example from Rose. Jab. A birthday message. Jab. A YouTube clip. Jab. A podcast episode. Jab. A funny meme. Jab. A funny reel. Jab. A book in the post. Jab. A letter. Jab. A card. Jab. Something. amazing reel. Like, you know, if you go to my Instagram, all you see is value, 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 value. I dare you to go look at it and look for one sell. Okay, maybe we wouldn't do one today, but maybe like in the last 90 days, no selling, none. People go, thank you, value. I'm like, no worries. What'd you get from it? Oh, I got this. Cool. Can I ask you a quick question? Yeah. If you get a blind breakthrough in your finances this year, what would it be? If you want to be a networker, start giving value. Jab, 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 jab. Then send them a right hook, which would be about the breakthrough question, the whoop, and the offer. Okay? All right. So here's what I want you to do. Am I way over time? Where's my bloody time? I've got rid of my... Oh, I'm okay. We're almost finished. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. The exercise. Just now, take 2 seconds, or maybe longer than 2 seconds. Write out 3 ways you can personally provide value. Jab. Right now, write that down. Okay? 3 ways you can personally provide value to people. Not selling. Not question asking, no agenda. It's not to serve you, it's to serve them with no attachment. This has got nothing to do with Isagenix. This has got everything to do with you being an influencer and a networker, irrespective of selling. I really feel like people would do better at this business if they didn't have a business. Weirdly. Because they're just like so caught up in the sale. Okay, just hands up when you finish that. 3 things. Just take a moment, break out and come back, and we'll finish off with the next part of the training and finish off. Brittany's done. Awesome. Laura's done. Scotty done. Cool, cool, cool. I had a guy once in our Church Connect group. He rang me up out of the blue, answer phone. He says, Lloyd, I said, what's up, Nick? He just said, look, I just rang you to tell you, mate, that I really appreciate you. I was like, and? He goes, no, that's it. Have a good day. I was like, holy shit, that was high, high, high value. Didn't sell me a damn thing, but if he had it the next day, I would have bought it. All right, great. Okay. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to do a quick breakout. You're going to share these 3 ideas in your little group. Okay, it's probably going to group of 4 again. And then we'll come back and we'll finish off with, we're going to show you, Alicia's going to show you how to craft something of value and utilize it like a weapon. It's going to be so much fun. So here we go. Ready? Breakout rooms. Yep, we'll probably do that same number. So person with the shortest hair goes first. Sharing your 3 ideas of jab, 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 what your value proposition is. Each one goes, come back to the room, and we'll finish off the training. Okay, ready, set, go. Hey, Laura. Have you frozen? Are you still there? Maybe you're frozen. Anki's working. Anki, are you still working? You want to go hang out with someone in a room? I'll move you. There we go.
I'm so sorry, but I can't.
You just go into the room anyway, and you can just stay on mute if you like. You can just stay
Can
on
I sit quiet there?
Yeah, of course.
But
Sure.
it's only
I'm
one.
putting, Yeah, this is me moving you out of your comfort zone because you're really apprehensive to go in. So I want you to go in just to hang out and be quiet. Totally fine. You don't have to talk, but I want you to just go and experience it.
Okay.
Have fun. That's the main thing. Okay. See you soon.
Thank you.
You bet. You got it? So we'll just hang out here. This is anyone who's watching the recording, if you watch this, this is your chance to go and do this exercise, come up with your 3 jab ideas, pop them in the comments below, and make sure you do the homework. Like, make sure you do these breakouts. And we'll just sit here and mind read each other. When I bring them back, I'll just do a group share. And we'll get some ideas flowing from them, and I'll hand it over to Alicia, and you can finish off with the Canva and the exercise, and you just give the homework. And we'll close it up.
There's just a little quick summary around influence, Lloyd, I might do.
Okay.
Super quick.
Yep. Let's bring them back. You want to do that now, Jen? You want to do it after, Alicia?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Do the shares first, I reckon.
You look like you're in the dark, Jen.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
All right, Katie Bowles back. Were you guys all in the same group? Yep. Cool. We'll just wait for the other guys to pop back in.
Name to my normal name, but I'm thinking set the intention it's staying.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Who enjoyed that?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Who's making some new friends?
I'm so excited. I had the same friends twice. We're really
Okay.
getting to know each other. It's exciting.
That's great.
But we didn't get to finish hearing you, Kimberly.
Right, we can hear now. So let's get a couple of takeaways. What were some of the really standout jabs that people shared? If you'd like to come off mute and just share.
Just giving value to people and something that will help their day. So it's a matter of knowing what they are.
Okay. Do you have any examples from your group, Joy?
Who was it? Liam had a really good one, just with his a guy that said that he didn't feel that he was very good as a father, and so Liam kind of praised him up and said, "Look, what a beautiful son you've got. That looks really great. You've done a great job." And the dad was really overwhelmed and really great.
Okay, so complimented him.
Yeah.
Great, excellent. Gave feedback. Cool. Give us some in other groups. What was it? What else came up?
I'm going to share the one that I got from Julie today.
Yep.
And that was, she said that if she was to go out and spend a day with someone, the next day she would send them a genuine message saying that she appreciated and enjoyed their time with them yesterday.
Yes, there you go.
That's a good one.
It's a great one. So low.
Leanne and I sing happy birthday to people.
Is
Yeah,
it-
we're sitting getting them.
But if you good singers?
No.
Oh, I am.
Wonderful. Great. So maybe how you do that on a daily basis, you could do the same thing with all your friends, right?
I do it with everybody, and I sing terribly, but it gets a little laughs.
Great. So you entertain them. That's a high value thing. So let's just do 2 more.
Celia does it on the piano. She does a piano rendition and sends it to people.
Amazing. Great. Wild. Highly valuable. One more. Let's do one more. Someone else, like, what other jab? What can you do?
So myself and Jackie, we both were doing podcasts. So if we've listened to a podcast and really enjoyed it ourselves, it's one that we can directly send to people and they might get some value from that as well. And generally people are really appreciative and want to check it out as well.
Fantastic. Great. So using a podcast link, a YouTube link, something of value, writing a card, giving compliments, phone call, follow-up message, funny gifts, funny reels, interesting reels, right? There's some good ones there. But also introducing someone to someone is also very high value. It's one of the most effective ways to actually network is to introduce 2 people with each other and just explain, hey, I thought of you guys should connect because of this and that. I hope you get along, Connect them. Very high value. And everyone can do that. So thanks for those takeaways and shares. I hope that really helped you think about the jabs you're going to throw now to network and not get hung up on the sell, because guys, we need to be connecting with a lot of people and having a lot of conversations to do 100 enrollments a year, which is what you want to aim for. 100 a year, right? All right. Jen, you want to just touch on the influence thing before we move to the Canva?
Yeah. So just super fast. So write this formula down. Influence equals certainty times enthusiasm. And so just moving into what Alicia's going to talk about, certainty is really important. So if you don't understand how the products work, if you don't understand how the compensation plan works, how are you going to have certainty around it? Because you're always worried, like, oh, what if they ask me a question I don't know the answer to? And at the start you won't, but it is a muscle that you really want to build. You want to have that knowledge, right? So that you know you can solve people's problems. And enthusiasm comes with certainty, right? The more we learn about these products, the more we help people, the more results we see, we just get more and more excited about it. But it also comes with our energy, and we need to check in on our energy, because when our energy is detached or needy or, take, then that doesn't come across as enthusiasm. That comes across as, I want something for you, I'm going to suck you dry the minute I get a chance. So enthusiasm is a very giving, generous energy. And so if we want to be influential, which we need to make a sale, which we need to lead a team, which we need to make multiple 6 figures in any business, we need certainty and we need enthusiasm. So just check in on where you're at with both of those. Are you feeling like you're 10 out of 10? Because that's where you want to get to. So that's all that I wanted to just tie that up a little bit.
Awesome. Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to share the screen and I'm going to pass it over to Alicia. She's going to share with you some training on how to do this part of the training.
You don't have to share the screen, but thank you so much.
So, hey everyone. Oh my gosh, can you believe it's already been 7 days since we've seen each other live on Zoom? Where have the last 7 days gone? I'd love to hear from you. Pop a 1 in the chat if you've already had a bingo moment from tonight's training. Pop a 1 in the chat. Amazing. Katie's popped a 1. Naomi, Carolyn, oh my gosh. Jen, Andrew, Lloyd, check out all those ones coming into the chat. You have definitely delivered in less than 90 minutes. So let me know if you would love to learn a way where you could create a guide that you could hand over to someone as a gift. So you could show up as a person of authority. You can have more likability. And of course, that you've got that reciprocity happening. If you would love to know that, pop a 2 in the chat. I already have yes, please. I love the manners. Amazing. So my goal over the next 10 minutes, I'm just going to ride through this really, really quickly, give you the basics, is for you to leave tonight's Zoom call where you can go away with your toolbox full of tools that you can go, I can can go and create a guide. Like Rose chatted, like Rose has this amazing organizational guide. She helps people organize their homes that she's created herself. So what if each and every one of us, we could have our own guide, our own PDF, our own gift that we could give to someone around our genius? Would that be cool? Let me get some head nods. Yeah, that we could finish this program with that we could just go out there and gift the world. Amazing. So who here has ever used Canva before? Pop a yes in the chat if you have used Canva. If you haven't used Canva, say no in the chat. So, okay, no. We've got a few no's. We've got yes, but very limited. All right, cool. So hopefully some of you learn a couple of things that I'm going to share with you, but I just really want you to show you how simple it can be to show up as a professional without being a professional graphic designer, because we've got these tools. So I'm just going to share my screen. I'm going to show you how quickly you can actually create a lead magnet. So this gift that we're talking about, this PDF, it's got a few names. It can be called a freemium because you're giving it away for free, but it's of high premium. It can be called a lead magnet. Have you ever heard the word lead magnet before? So a lead magnet is you're sending it to qualify a lead. It can be known as a PDF, a resource. It's got lots and lots of names, but I just want you to have your very own lead magnet. And how we've designed this program is we'd love for you to have your lead magnet designed around the health of Isagenix, the power of Isagenix and their products. And so we have a couple of webinars that we're going to have you watch, over the next week, which will educate you around the amazing products that we have. And then you can take the education that you get from these webinars and create your own PDF. And not only will the webinars, you watching the webinars, build your belief in the products. Oh my gosh. And when you have uncertainty with the products, you'll talk about them more, I promise. But then again, you're going to come equipped with this PDF that you can gift to people. All right. So who's ready? Say yes in the chat if you're ready. And I'm going to share my screen. And oh my gosh, do we love technology? Because when you play with technology, it never really works out the way that you want to do. So have patience with me, team, if it doesn't go to plan. So first and foremost, can you see Canva up on the screen right now? Yeah, I got a few thumbs ups. So Naomi, I can see you. Jackie, I can see you. Lloyd, I can see you. So you are my eyes. Okay. So I will be watching you. If you yawn, I will hurry up. But so if you don't have a Canva account, it's so simple to set up. I'm going to go from basic to maybe a bit more advanced, but it's free to set up. There's a free version. Okay. But I would recommend getting a pro version. I use Canva every single day, and you can do so much more with the pro version. It's about 160 Australian dollars for the year. That works out to be like $20 for the month. It's nothing. And guess what? We're really, really cheeky. We didn't even pay for our Canva account. My sister Mel did, and we just use her login details. So if you got a few of your teamies that you can just buy one account and then you can share it. You're not supposed to do that. But anyways, you can, just so you know, a little bit of a hack there. So the first thing that you want to do when you want to go and create your PDF or your freemium is you basically go onto Canva and you type out lead magnet. Okay, so you're saying to Canva, I want to create a lead magnet. That's what I want to design. And Canva is so amazing. What it will do is it will bring up so many different designs for you. So many different designs, and you just scroll through them and you're like, okay, what do I like? What I don't like? And the thing is, when it comes to lead magnets, if you hover over each design, it will show you at the very bottom how many pages there are. So in this lead magnet, there's 14 pages already designed for you that you don't have to design, my friends. It's so cool. You can pretty much just plug and play your text and you're ready to go, and you're going to show up as a professional. So let's just use one as an example. So I'll just choose this one. Oh, Katie's already said how good. Good. I'm glad you're getting value from this, Katie. 90% of success in life is just showing up. So let's just use this one for example. So it's got 14 pages. So I'm just going to select it. And then you can actually see what each page looks like. But let's just go customize this template. So we're going to use this template and it's going to pop up. And all you've got to do is change the words. So you just simply type in there like how to create a lead magnet. Okay. and you can go solve one of my obstacles. There you go, Katie. Ding, ding, ding. And you can change the images. So Canva has thousands and thousands and thousands of images that you can borrow from them. So you can just search up here. You can go health, search whatever category you want, and it will bring up all these beautiful photos that you don't have to pay for. And then you just bring it over and it will actually embed it for you. Okay. If you want to change any of the colors, you basically just hover over what you want to change. And there is a little box over there. There's so many different colors that you can select. So if you've got your own if you've got branded colors, then you can change it to your branded colors as well. Okay. So that's how you change the colors. You can obviously change the text. And if you want to duplicate a page, so say, for example, you love this page and you want to use this design on another page, you just look at that plus button at the top where it says duplicate page. You duplicate it and it will just duplicate that exact design for you, and you can go in and edit it there and then. All right. If you want to delete a page, as simple as that, you can just delete a page and it will disappear. So one thing that I really want to show you is uploads. So you can actually upload your own images. So you can bring them over to Canva and you can use them. You can simply just go upload files and bring them in. But what I like to do is I just bring up the folder. I select the images that I want, and I just scroll and pull them into Canva. Okay. And then Canva will upload them up for you. And all you've got to do is just pull them across and then use them in your actual PDF. All right, so those are, that's as simple as it is. And so with a lead magnet, the coolest thing about a lead magnet is you provide all this value. So what you would ideally want to do is go and watch the webinars and then really learn a little bit more about the Isagenix solutions and what it can actually provide to people that aren't using the products yet. And you can craft this in a way to bring that value to them in this professionally looking booklet. And then of course on the last page you can have your next steps. So if you love what you read in this PDF and you want to learn more how to do X, Y, and Z, just shoot me a message or send me a message on Instagram or shoot me an email. So you can have a little bit of a call to action if you want on the very last page. So once you're done with your PDF, you're like, I love it, I'm ready to use it, I'm ready to send it out to everyone. All you've got to do is tap on share. If you tap on share, just move this and go download. What you're looking to do is you're looking to download a PDF standard. PNG will save it as images, but you want to download it as a PDF standard, and you just go download. And then it's just going to download to your desktop. Use Canva on a laptop, much easier than using it on your phone. You can use it on your phone. It's great for like small edits, but for things like this, I would definitely recommend using your laptop. And then you've got your PDF downloaded, and obviously change the name of it to whatever you want to call it. And then how you can send it, you can actually send it a few ways. You can send it straight as a PDF in Messenger. There's a functionality on Facebook you can use there, or you can use Dropbox. Does anyone use Dropbox? Say yes in the chat or no in the chat if you don't. But Dropbox is free to use, and it just creates a nice little link for you that you can just send to someone. So simple. So you just create a Dropbox, like I said, for free. Take a few minutes to set up, but then once you set it up, you're all good and ready to go. And then of course you can just upload. You can upload your PDF here, the one that we just downloaded together, and it will create a link for you. So is it uploaded yet? It's uploading here. Beautiful. And then you can save the link. So I'll just use this one, for example. So this is another PDF that I have sitting there. I don't know where the one that we just uploaded went, but oh, I uploaded this one. Okay, so all you do is tap on those three dots and you go copy link. And once you copy the link, you can send it off to anyone and they will be able to access your PDF. And that's basically what I wanted to show you with Canva on how you can go in, you can create templates, you can grab a template, you can edit it, you can add in your own images. And then of course you can download it as a PDF and upload it into Dropbox and share it as a link.
You can also share straight PDFs in Messenger, right?
You can. So You can.
Or images rather.
No, you can actually share PDFs
On a computer, yeah.
on a computer. Yeah. Oh. I'll just use Leah's one as an example. So you tap on attach file. Can you see that? There's a plus and then there's 2 images. So you attach a file. Can you see my Facebook right now?
Yep.
Perfect. You attach a file and then you can send the PDF. God knows what I'm sending you, Leah, but have fun with that. Okay? And that's how you can send a PDF in Messenger.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, that was a bit of a crash course in Canva. Did you get value from that? Thumbs up. Yeah. Are we all going to be graphic designer pros now? There's no excuses when you say, I can't design anything, because Canva has literally laid it out for us. We just basically have to go in and insert the words. And if you find you struggle with that, then you have ChatGPT that can help you write the words as well. So you can use ChatGPT and then obviously embed it into Canva, and you can create this freemium, this lead magnet, this gift that you can provide to people to show up as a person of more value and obviously give them a little bit of a gift.
Awesome.
Can I just ask a question, Alicia? Would you use Isagenix or our nutrition system in that booklet?
So if I was putting together a freemium around that, I would write the 3 secrets of biohacking, and I would talk about the 3 secrets of biohacking, but of course they relate to Isagenix. So it opens people's eyes up to, oh, I didn't realize I needed X amount of protein, or I didn't realize that I needed to intermittent fast, or I didn't realize I needed to do that. So you're educating them in a way that opens them up to learning more when they're like, okay, now you've taught me something. How can you help me? How can you solve that problem that I now have that I didn't think I had before? So that's what I would do.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Okay, amazing training. Hey, look at that. What a jab.
Can I just ask one question?
Yep.
Ideally, at which point of the process do you send them this?
So what I would do is I'd say, happy birthday, Fiona. I hope you've had an amazing day. What I'd love to do is gift you my PDF around biohacking as a little gift on your birthday. And you can send it to each and every one of your friends on Facebook each and every day. And over the 12 months, everyone has received your PDF. So that's what I would start with.
And you can use it in conversation as well, and you can put it on your Facebook profile, and you can talk about it, you can hold it up, it's just such a high value thing. When I did my bodybuilding comp, I created this little ebook called Muscle Man Diaries, and it explained how I went through my transformation. And I added the Isagenix products in there on the schedule, so they would always ask, oh, what's that product? I'm like, oh, I'm glad you asked. Step into my office. So it really does work. So that's amazing. All right, great, fantastic. Pop in the chat. One thing you got from Alicia's training. What stood out for you? How to use Canva. That's good. Yes, it worked. Simples. Yep. Create value in content. Yep. Use Canva. Use the templates. Everything. Lead magnet template. All right. Awesome. Imagine if you had a group of friends and you showed them how to use Canva. Would that be a jab? Yep. You always got jabbed. How's it feel? Feels good, doesn't it? That's how you can make other people feel. This is how you develop influence. There's also a book called KPI, Key Person of Influence. So white, red, and blue book. I read it in 2016. And when I read it, it completely made sense to me as to how to become a person of influence. And publishing, which is what Alicia just showed you how to do, is one of the 4 Ps in the book of how to build influence. And guess what? It's how you build authority. And what's authority? It's one of the 6 weapons of influence. So you having this PDF will give you authority that you seek and make you a person of value and influence. All right, let's do this. So homework task of the week. This week, homework. Don't freak out that it's homework. Just here's what you're going to do. Alicia will post this in the Facebook group as well, just so you can click on the links. So the first one is to watch the biohacking masterclass that we did many times last week. That's the YouTube link to watch it. and watch this webinar by Dr. Paul Arciero, who's a legend. Watch that. And then after you've watched these, you create a free premium from the lessons you learned from both webinars. You just construct whatever freemium you want, but you'll have the actual information on how to craft that around whatever health topic from the webinars you want.
Hey Lloyd, can I just jump in for a tick?
Yep.
I just wanted to tell everyone that your biohacking masterclass that you did with Alicia was just so awesome. And it's just, you did such a great job. And the point of the homework is to learn the content that Lloyd and Alicia taught. Like Lloyd went through so much cool stuff. And I'm not saying you need to become a science expert in a week, because Lloyd went into some really cool science, but you really want to understand at that level why these products are so amazing to put in our bodies, because then you can never quit. And if you never quit, then your business is going to thrive. Most people don't have success because they quit themselves, right? And so Lloyd just put the masterclass together so beautifully. You don't have to get to the end and see where he does the sell and panic like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. That's not the point of watching the masterclass at this point. The point is to listen to the content and listen to the science that Lloyd teaches. Same point is with Dr. Paul's video, to understand the products and how they help people at that level, so that you can with certainty put together your premium, your PDF, your thing that you create.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks, Jen. Wonderful. So there we go. That's the homework task. And once you do the homework, I'd love to see, if you want to, print it out and take a selfie of you and post it in the Facebook group. That'd be cool, right? If you do that, that means we know you've done it. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're going to attack this and do this well, it's really going to serve you because you use these skills for the rest of your time. So go forth, do that this week for the homework task. You'll have something of to use as a jab. Next week, we'll continue the journey. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks,
Yeah.
Alicia.
Thank you.
Thank
Amazing
you.
people.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.